What's up guys, today we're going to be installing and chronograph testing the Worker Longshot kit. I recorded this entire video using a helmet mounted GoPro as well as the microphone on the GoPro and an off-axis DSLR for some different angles of view. All commentary will be live from me speaking at the time of installing it. I hope you enjoy this different kind of style. Before we even begin assembly, there's a couple of parts you'll need to have beforehand. There's no trigger included in the worker kit, and there's no plunger tube. You can choose between artifact or the stock one. This is the stock one. And you're going to need to have your own plunger rod as well. Now, what's in here? Got our pusher, which has come with O-rings already on it, and we've got our barrel and some faux barrel material. Does this fit inside? No, it actually replaces this Xzeus piece and fits perfectly in there. In here we've got our bolt sled. And where did I? It comes with this little pin. This is not threaded like an artifact sled. It looks like it simply pushes in. That is a bad design flaw. Worker, why did you do that? We'll put that in. We'll put that in now. Just like the Prophecy, it does have an O-ring seal on the pusher. Removing the stock Nerf pusher, I actually stabbed my finger. You'll see that band-aid throughout the whole video. Okay. Now this is the part I don't like about this kit. This little push-in pin. Does that end go in first or last? Maybe it goes in last. Okay, let's push that in as far as we can. I don't think that's coming out. So there's our pusher done. Now this must be the dart gate in here. Yep, we've got our dart gate, which in a stock Longshot shell actually requires shell cutting. But as you'll see in the Xzeus shell, because we don't have any ribs there, we don't have to actually cut it. We've also got some spare O-rings and a little Allen key to fasten these in for the barrel. So I'm going to actually fasten the barrel in now. And unlike an artifact kit, you don't have to actually guess about where this barrel should sit in here. You just push it in as far as it'll go and then tighten it. Because on the inside here, there's like a little ridge that it hits. Yeah, just inside there. And this orange faux barrel actually slots in snugly to center the barrel. I may still add some electrical tape later. We'll see how that goes. What we're actually going to use is an 8 kilogram turf spring. I don't like the length of this barrel for anything higher than 8 kilos. It looks to be actually shorter than an Alpha Kit barrel.
This Xzeus is also for my girlfriend Ashley. I wanted it to be easy for her to prime, so I went with the turf 8 kilogram spring. That's in addition to this barrel being pretty short.
Spring rest doesn't come with any screws, so make sure you keep the screws from the stock one. Slide that off, slide that on, put your spring on. Now just be very careful to line up the little fins on this with the fins on the plunger rod. More important when you're using higher springs than this one, but make sure you push down on the plunger head as you screw it down. Okay, we're almost all done actually. First up, I'm going to lube the plunger cup just by squirting a generous amount of lube down into the deeper parts of the plunger tube. Just rubbing it around a bit with my finger, pushing this in and out, get it nice and lubed. So now I'm also going to put some lube on the O-ring of the plunger head. Just push that in and out as well, just to get it all smeared around. Forgot to remove these screws out of here first. I put them back in just so I wouldn't lose them. Same as the plunger head, you're going to want to apply some force on this to not strip the screw ports out. More important if you have a higher spring load than 8 kilos, but I'd still do it nonetheless. You also don't want to end up over tightening these or you'll split the plastic where the screw goes in. Just hand tight. Okay, we're pretty much all ready to put this shell back together. Okay, I need to rotate that. I will also put a tiny bit, I'll actually put it on my little finger to do this, tiny bit of lube on the pusher O-ring. I don't want it to actually get inside the barrel and start slowing down my darts. So just so it covers the O-ring and don't over lube the pusher. Okay, that's in. Now this catch plate does come with its own spring. Let's have a quick feel of how that spring feels compared to the turf ones that I'm used to. Oh, it is fairly beefy. And it's longer too. I'd say it feels about the same as the turf in terms of compression weight. Might just use it. It does fit over there perfectly, so we'll use it instead of the turf one that I've got. Okay, so everything is in the place that it should be in. Let's get this screwed back together. Now, through the magic of video editing, this shell's all back together. Does it prime? Very easily. It does prime. Does it fire? Well, it does indeed fire. Both primes and fires. Two main functions it needs to perform. But now let's take it over to this crony. And this is a different crony than my usual one because it's dark. This one works at night. Let's use this one. I'm not very good at using this thing. Let's get this on a brick. That might help. Okay, so in this magazine, we've got some worker darts and we've got some ACC3 darts. Let's see how they go. Well, that's meters a second. How the hell do we convert that? Feet a second. That's really intuitive, actually. I've never used this before. So that hit 160. $167, $152, $162, $168. Now I've got our ACCs. $183. Looks like they're a bit faster than the workers were. $180. $183. $181. $165. I think I may have hit the dart on the inside wall of the crony. So the workers are in the mid 160s, the ACCs are hitting 180. Perfect for Ashley to use at our 180 FPS wars.
Now some of you are going to want me to summarize the results of this versus an alpha kit, and potentially what we're going to see from Omega once that comes out. I've tested alpha extensively with all different springs, but with the 8 kilogram spring it's hitting pretty much identical numbers to this. Maybe a slight edge to the alpha kit, where this is hitting 181, the alpha kit may hit 185. Now the main difference that Omega is going to have is it will also supply a metal trigger, a metal plunger tube, and there won't be any shell cutting required with the Longshot shell. I know I didn't have to do it with the Xzeus, but with a Nerf Longshot shell, you do have to do some dremeling to make this worker kit fit. Because they seem so comparable, I'll leave the choice up to you guys with what you want to get. As always, thank you for watching.